For You page I'm popping up on, but we rich, 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 rich.
Today my sugar daddy bought me a new car and it's a pink G-Wagon. I honestly can't believe it. It's my dream car. It's a G63 and it's absolutely the most perfect pink that I could ever want in my life. It's a car that I've literally dreamed about for so long. I used to post it on my Instagram stories all the time saying that this was my dream car and I really, really wanted it. And I can't believe he made my dreams come true. And he also bought me beautiful pink flowers to match the car. And I'm so happy today, honestly. There's nothing more that a girl could dream of. And he even got my name put on the car just to make it even more special. And I'm super happy. What do you guys think of it? It looks so stunning and I can't wait to drive it around. I'm so happy.
Imagine if I listen what I hate, I gotta say I never give a broke bitch any time of day. You ugly when you jealous, bitch. Look at that face. I'm hot right now when you're not, okay? You big mad, or you big mad. Got a big bag, popping big tags. All white Rover, yeah, with that.
It's that time. We ready? Graphics up? Thumbnail in place? Okay, let's get it. What's going on, everyone? This is Star. Welcome to the channel and happy Friday. How was your week? My week was great, thank you. But let's get into these topics. Our main topic of the night is why are men mad at women, specifically black women, for living the soft girl life? Yes, let's talk about it. A couple of months ago when I was on TikTok, I saw a post of a woman on vacation with her friends. And it was interesting because in the comments, one man in particular, he talked about how it was weird watching black women live their best life because the women in his family struggled. They're trying to figure out how you're wearing these cute-ass wigs, getting sponsored by men, and meanwhile their mothers wore natural hair and couldn't even get a carton of milk. The women in my family were taken care of. They had nothing to worry about, and all they had to do was take care of the household and the children. And meals were cooked every night. These men are flying to Colombia because they do not have the education and skills to take care of these beautiful women in America. Men are funny. On one hand, they say they're tired of the independent woman, and then on the other hand, they say they don't want to be with the woman that they have to take care of like a child. You got to make up your mind. Do you like independent women or not? Or do you want to be the man of the household, taking care of all the bills and taking care of your wife and your children? You have to make up your mind instead of complaining. And I understand why these black men don't want to fully take care of women because they never seen a man take care of their mother. They never seen a man value their mother, love their mother. Their mothers was working 2 jobs, some cleaning toilets, and it wasn't a man in sight to help. No man was trying to help her out. All they wanted was the sex. And when they got that, they up and left. And these men, they're still angry for their mothers. Ladies, if you meet a man and he tells you that he never met his father and that his mother raised him by herself, leave him alone because he's letting you know he watched his mother play the role of a man his entire childhood. Whenever you see a man really losing it and going off on a woman on YouTube, understand it's a story behind that. Some of these men grew up watching their mothers be whores. I mean, they seen men come out of their mother's bedroom. Not just one, but numerous. And that's why some of these men are still mad to this day. And not only that, while their mothers were doing their activities, there was no food in the fridge, or the lights were turned off, or the water was turned off because the man she was dealing with didn't give a damn. They don't trust women based on how their mothers conducted themselves when they were children. And that's real. Now let's talk about the women really quickly because some of the women have made such poor decisions that their sons are really fucked up out here. And they don't know how to control their emotions. See, that's what happens when a man just out here fucking. Excuse my language. So whenever a man goes off on you, go ahead and ask him what happened in his childhood. Then again, don't ask him anything. Just get away from him because these guys nowadays are too quick to unalive you. The interesting thing about men is that you can have one man and 2 women. And those 2 women can date that man and have 2 totally different experiences. It happens all the time. One woman can have an experience with a man being sweet, being generous, being loving, and another woman can have a totally different experience with that same man. It's sad, but very true. Black women, you better get you some self-love. Because if you haven't noticed, the black man is now the new white woman in America. Oh, yes. Take the views off this, too, because we keeping it all the way real tonight. Black men and white women can't stand the features on a black woman. Am I lying? Roll the clip.
Black men get the white women that other white men genuinely do not want. You don't get the top of the line white women. You don't.
This is the final part in my series. Someone on Instagram, the question's up. All the content is up regarding this subject on Instagram and my Facebook. Someone asked, a black man asked, when are we going to talk about upper middle class white women who prey on the disenfranchised black man? Let's talk about it now. At first, I was thinking about the Kardashians, how they prey on a very specific type of black man and then use that and their children for clout and to make lots and lots of money. But that's an elite status of predatory behavior. And I don't think that's really what that question is about. And then there are the blonde bombshells. That's what I call them, who end up preying on athletes for one reason or another. Their fetish is there. They're always at the right bar or the right restaurant, the right gym. They live in the right apartment complex. Just when that 21, 22-year-old man is coming out of college with all those millions of dollars. The irony. And then 10, 15 years later, you got 3 kids. You're running for your life because she's threatening to kill you and calling you the N-word. And now you're paying hundreds of thousands of dollars a month just to keep her quiet and happy and over there. No, we're not talking about them either. When I think, and when we should start to talk about the upper middle class white woman and how she preys on the disenfranchised black man, disenfranchised being that who is without privilege, it's all up in my comment section on TikTok right now. And I'm not really sure, like, where do they meet? At work? College? I'm not really sure about that aspect, but none of this is poverty. None of this is poverty. So as much as Dr. Johnson hurt a lot of your feelings, and he is an extremist, it wasn't about agreeing with him. It was about poking the bear, which I always know how to do. Y'all fall for it. I've always said I do it. That's not my problem, nor the point of the video. What I did notice in my comment section is that a lot of black men were defending their interracial relationships and letting me know I'm a racist and I'm uneducated and the world has evolved. Here's my favorite. It's nobody's business who we date. Why should it matter? There are bigger things to worry about in the world. I mean, if you close your mind and I didn't say black men were writing these comments, you'd literally think you were listening to white women talk. Because that's what I hear out of white women every single time they try to defend their interracial relationships. And then they go and make TikTok challenges about how expensive this one was and how I got them on sale. Or they're making wedding invitations in cotton fields with their black fiancés in shackles. Or I think there was another trend about how many beautiful golden brown skinned babies you can have with a dark skinned man. But I was drinking during that time, so I could be off in the details just a little bit. The seriousness is that all of these women come from wealth. Personally, I think it's sexual gratification that gets white women in the door. I call it the mandingo fetish, that black snake moan. Y'all don't like these terminologies, and I don't give a fuck. This is how people think. Y'all just like to sugarcoat the terminology when you're deflecting and gaslighting the reality that you're actually the things and the people that I'm talking about. But again, I'm not going to go into that in this video either. What I saw in my comment section over the last 4 days now, because I'm almost at 2,000 comments, is that black men speak like the white women they're with now in America. And I'm going to be real honest, I didn't realize so many black men were only dating white women or non-black women, but I'm not going to go into that in this video either. But there are thousands of you still. I thought that was like a 90s trend. It was done in like 2001. Here we are. And now you're talking like them. Disenfranchised. And what I see, because I grew up in an incredibly racist conditioning, like all the white people in America, regardless of if they admit it or not, is that, see, when they were in college and they were fun and everything was having just a party, it was cool to be in that interracial relationship where you were still a black man, your own identity, your own person, your own being. But now y'all have been married 10 years and y'all got 3 kids and y'all live in the suburbs in that gated community, and that whole white world, as long as they accept you, she's going to be happy. So you can be a black man, but not that kind of black man. You can be the black man that white people feel is acceptable and will allow them around their, groups and social events and the PTO. And all of the people commenting in my comment section are predominantly upper middle class. So when I go to their Facebook pages and I see that they live these upper middle class lives, I'm really understanding that it's a whitewashing of identity. And it doesn't happen overnight. If you look at anything when it comes to social construct, it does take 3 generations to actually make something truly happen. It's almost as if white supremacy knew that a whole bunch of rich white girls were going to have a mandingo fetish. So they decided to perpetuate the idea that we'll get black men in their clutches. And then eventually over time and generations, the children will not only be lighter, but all that blackness will just be washed away unless it's appropriate and acceptable in the white world we've pulled them into with our clutches. I'm not going to debate anybody about this subject. What I said was what I said. What I would love to see is people thinking and changing their mindsets about the social construct of interracial relationships. Because until any of y'all deconstruct, decolonize, and learn new patterns of behavior that are not conditioned in Jim Crow, you're just repeating cycles. I don't care how many biracial children you have, and say love sees no color. Because we're all conditioned in this society. It's just a big fucking science experiment. So keep on keeping on hating on me and growing all my platforms. Thank you very much. And I'm going to continue to talk about the things that I know we need to talk about in this society that I am conditioned and brought up in as well. Oh, and FYI, rarely ever dated white men married to 2 men that aren't even American and have 3 biracial children. But I don't feel the need to weaponize my personal relationships and tell you how good my interracial relationships are or were in order to talk about the truth of what really is going on in this society in a bigger picture. It's called critical thinking. Happy dating.
What's understood doesn't need to be explained. Now let's move on to the passport bros. The passport bros are lit in these streets, but they tell too much of their business. You need to tighten up on that. The clip I'm about to play for you is a man who discusses how him and his friend got drugged and robbed in Colombia.
Yo, I want y'all to know, and I'm keeping it a buck, I got drugged yesterday. And it's my fault because I met some chicks from Medellin off of Tinder. So I brought them to my crib, and then I was trying to surprise my boy, and then eventually they drugged us. And yo guys, they took everything. They took my iPad, they took my MacBook, they took my iPhone 13 Pro, they took my Samsung S20, they took my drone, they pretty much took my credit cards. Like, I got pictures of them, and I'm gonna post it on my channel. Like, Cartagena is dangerous, guys. I've been here for 2 years, almost 2 years, and I've never been in no situation like this. But I want you guys to know, man, like, I post this so y'all can understand this doesn't happen to you. You know what I mean? It could get very dangerous here, guys. Don't trust people here. They will fuck us.
I don't care if you're in the lily white suburbs here in the United States or you're in the hood or out the country. Remember, at any point, you can always get got. I'm Star. Thank you so much for visiting the channel. I hope you guys have an amazing weekend and enjoy your Valentine's Day. Good night.